What is good? What is up? It's Jordan, our Texans Thoughts, and we're back. It's been a minute. I apologize for going adios on y'all. I'll explain that. But I had to be back for this emergency stream. Because today, y'all, today is the day. Today is the day it happened. Our dreams came true. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Easterby is gone. He's fired. He's kicked out. He got the door. He got the window. He's piecing out of NRG. We never have to associate him with the Texans ever again. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness. I honestly never thought this day would come. I honestly never thought this day would come. Can y'all see my screen properly? Y'all can. There we go. This morning, I woke up to Adam Schefter blessing the timeline. Oh my goodness. A significant shakeup in Houston Texans are parting ways with their executive vice president of football operations, Jack Easterby. Man, oh man. Man, oh man, y'all. Happy to be back. What's up, everyone in the chat? Shout out to my boy Jay. Go check out his YouTube channel and give him a sub for your boy. He's doing some good film work. And just keeping you guys updated on all things Texans. So definitely check him out. Primetime Barry, what's up, my dude? Sir Dance Law, what's up? What's up? I know, man. I'll get into that now. What's up, my dude? What's up, Caleb? We out here eating. Let's go. Let's go, T. What's good, Willie Boy P? Hey, I miss this, y'all. I miss being able to stream and talk to y'all. The reasons why I've gone MIA is because I started a full-time job in the football world. Finally, it was my dream to do that. And it came true eventually. If you follow me on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, I started working for a media company called the 33rd Team. It was founded by former, NFL general manager Mike Tannenbaum. And we're basically a media company that reports on the news. We've got former players like Mike Vick and Brett Favre reporting for us. We've got former coaches like Wade Phillips and Chuck Pagano. So it's been a lot of fun to work with this team. I've been super, super blessed to get this full-time opportunity. And that's what's been taking me away from Texans Thoughts and from you guys. And so I apologize for the lack of clarity. I'm always really bad about that sort of stuff. I always feel like if you guys are with me on Twitter, like you know what's going on. But then I forget that there's a big proportion of you guys that don't follow me on Twitter. And I left you all to dry, so I apologize for that. But that's what I've been busy with. It's been taking up a lot of my time, over 40 hours a week, and it's just been a lot. So as I try and balance that, bear with me. I want to do more of these streams and just chill with y'all. But I'm back, man. So what's going to happen with the shirt? I mean, I think this shirt's a good luck charm, man. I don't think I can ever get rid of it. I think it spoke things into existence, y'all. Woo, Cal, what's up? Cal's in the building, y'all. Jack Easter egg fired. Honestly, Cal, I didn't think you could do it. I didn't think you had it in you. I thought he was your boy. I thought he had you wrapped around his little finger. But you saw the light. You saw the light. You saw what fans were screaming at you. And you did the right thing. Attaboy, Cal. Attaboy. Patrick, what happened to the Believe podcast? I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. If you missed what I just said like 30 seconds ago, started a new full-time job. And so I've not had a lot of time to do that. And I feel bad, Quentin. If you're listening to this, you probably aren't. I don't know why you'd be listening to this. But Quentin, I'm going to figure it out. I need to figure my shit out. I need to figure that out if I'm going to continue that, when I'm going to do that. If not, I may have to pass off a baton to someone. I may have to do that. But it's in the works, Patrick. It's in the works. So for this stream, honestly, I just kind of want to chill with y'all. I don't really have anything to really like organized or structured to talk through with y'all. It's just a day to rejoice, man. It's a day to rejoice and get back caught up with y'all. Stephen Harris says, Nick Casario, I'm not fans of he brought in same good players. You know, my English ain't good, but I don't know what that means. Calvin McNair did that a long time. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. T says he alienated half the fan base. Cal knew we had to get him out of there. Had to give him the window, y'all. should bring up the other Petrie jersey, man. I'm in a new house right now, and so bear with me with this janky ass blank wall setup. But yeah, that is the Jalen Petrie jersey that I got, that the Houston Texans gratefully, I don't know. Again, not good English. Sent me my way. They saw on Twitter the horrible Petrie jersey that I bought for $50. I don't know. My mind was not in it, man. My mind was not in it. I saw $50. I was like, that's a deal. It must be official. It said Houston Texans store. I was like, all right, good enough for me. I thought I was getting a deal. I got played. It is what it is. Texans came through, got me the signed Petrie jersey, and it was honestly unreal. Because y'all know me. Petrie's my guy. He's been my guy for months. Graciously, thank you, Jay. Thank you. My guy, my dictionary right there, my Grammarly. You get that jersey in frame. I know. I need to. I've never gotten a jersey framed. The one that you guys have seen my background was with the Arian Foster jersey that was sent by Tyler Collins, a fellow viewer, a fellow supporter, a fellow part of the family. So shout out to you, Tyler. And so I've never actually gotten it done myself. So I don't really know how to go about that. And it's just one of those things that keeps getting pushed off. And I keep procrastinating on it. So I need to be better about that. All right. Thank you, Cal. New EVP, new executive vice president. Texans thoughts? Let's do it. I'll run shit way better than Easterby, than joke. Yeah, honestly, y'all, you got any thoughts in the comments? Throw it in. I'm gonna answer some questions. Gonna go back over kind of the history of Joke Easterby and how we led to this point, why he needed to be fired. But for right now, I'm just vibe and answer y'all's questions. So Pierce for Offensive Rookie of the Year, guaranteed. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Cal McNair is putting his money on the line. Dude, Pierce was top 5 in rushing yards before the bye. He led all rookie running backs in rushing yards. I think he still does. It's insane the amount of yards that he creates by himself. Yards he gets after contact. Because the Texans O-line, don't get it twisted, they're still not very good at run blocking. Pierce is just that damn good. He's doing a lot of it on his own. It's absolutely amazing what he's been able to do, and I think he should be. He's definitely the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year, man. If he continues this pace, he's going to win it, man. And he can put Houston on the map. He can give us the national media attention that Pierce deserves and that Houston has really not gotten for so long because they are a small market in the football world. Thoughts on the Andre Johnson Insta post? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. With Joke Easterby, arguably his biggest public critic was Dre. Dre called him out from the beginning, said nothing will go better for the Texans organization until Joke Easterby is gone. Dre's always right. Dre's always right. People were conspiring, thinking that, Andre's just saying these things. You know what? Let's not even go down that wormhole. Let's keep positive. Basically, Andre Johnson, one of Jack Easterby's biggest public critics, if not his biggest public critic, and one of the reasons why he left his position with the Texans as an advisor, assistant, whatever you want to call it. Now today, on his Instagram, he posted twice. One was just kind of a picture of him, with the Texans background and whatnot. And the other one was him kind of reposting someone's story that tagged him in a John McClain tweet saying, something about the Texans should bring back Andre Johnson, basically. So I think if the Texans will have him, I think Dre will be back. I think I would love to see that. He's a smart man. He knows football. He knows how to win. At the very least, he can help some young guys, guide them in the right way. We've seen him do work with Nico Collins, and we know Nico Collins is a talented dude. The production might not live up to his potential right now, but that's not all Nico Collins' fault. It's mainly the quarterback's fault. That's another story for another day. But yeah, man, I would love Andre Johnson back. I think he could very much come back. Maybe in the offseason. I don't know if he'll come in the middle of the season. It'll be a little unlikely, but you never know, man. You never know. Do you think Cal brings back Rick Smith as EVP? That would be interesting, man. That would be interesting. I know the reason he stepped away was because of his wife and some medical stuff, if I'm not mistaken. So I wonder what the situation is on that. I haven't heard his name in a hot minute, but maybe, man, maybe Rick Smith has done some good damn things for this Houston Texans organization. Most notably, knocking the first round draft out the park. I mean, you look at his track record with JJ, with Nuke, with a lot of other guys, man. It's great. So I think the more minds you bring into the building to support Nick Caserio and what he's doing, the better, in my opinion. And I don't think Rick Smith is a mind that like is gonna, pull a Bill O'Brien and think it's my way or the highway, or start having this ego thing and start stepping on people's toes. So I think you bring a good voice to the fold. Imagine Bryce Young with this offense, y'all. Ooh, who y'all want in the draft? Currently, as we sit, we got the 4th and the 5th pick. Thank you, Cleveland. Thank you, Deshaun Watson and Cleveland, for being stupid and making that trade with us and giving us all them picks. You love to see it. Who do y'all want, man? Who do y'all want? I would love Bryce Young. I'd be very happy with Bryce Young. I think he'd be a franchise quarterback, absolutely. And I think he's the type of quarterback that elevates his teammates, that makes up for his teammates' mistakes, and is a problem solver at the end of the day. He's a problem solver. Your O-line gives up pressure, no problem. Bryce Young can avoid it. He can extend the play. He's poised in the pocket. He don't get jittery feet like Davis. Wide receivers not getting open, that's okay. He'll throw them open. Play calls bad, dealing with Bill O'Brien, that's okay. Problem solved. You got Bryce Young. He'll make something out of nothing. So I'm a big fan of Bryce Young. Yes, sir. No way, Patrick. No way. That is crazy. Doesn't it get you? It looked like the official store. It says something like Houston store or Houston Sports Store or Houston Texans Store, something like that. It was $50, and I was just like, maybe it's my lucky day. Maybe things are on sale. Yikes. Sorry, Patrick. Post on Twitter. Maybe the Texans send you something. Get wrecked. Joker me. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. Oh, you love to see it, man. You love to see it. With that, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the chat, and I'll get back to it. Actually, let me see who y'all are saying in the chat. Tank for Stroud. We got some Stroud fans. We got some Bryce Young fans. Will Anderson and Bryce Young. Ooh, ain't that the dream, man. Bama's 2 best players. That will be crazy. Pair back up Mechie with Bryce Young. You would love to see it. I think Bryce Young solves their biggest hole on offense. Then it's just all about supporting him and making sure that you're not setting him up to fail. As much as I said he's a quarterback who is a problem solver and elevates his teammates and makes up for mistakes, this is going to sound like I'm like contradicting myself, because he does do that. But also, no matter which quarterback in the league, no matter how elite you are, even if you're Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, we are seeing this year that no matter how elite you are, you still need to support your quarterback. You still need to get them a good line. You still need to have wide receivers. You still need to have a running game. We're seeing with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm saying these things about Bryce Young, but at the end of the day, no matter how great you are, you will still need a little help. So I'm not saying he's going to carry us, but I think he is better than a quarterback like Davis Mills, than a quarterback like CJ Stroud, at elevating his offense, at making up for his teammates' mistakes. That's my point in this. That's how I'm going to articulate it. Caleb Williams, man, he's absolutely crazy out of USC. That dude, I'm telling you right now, that dude is the closest thing I have seen to Magic Mahomes. Caleb Williams makes just some video game-like plays. It's actually insane. Like, you want to talk about guys that make something out of nothing? That's Caleb Williams. Is he a perfectly advanced pocket passer like a CJ Stroud at this point? No. He is in a really good offensive situation where guys are constantly wide open. He has Jordan Addison, a top 10 pick this year. He has Mario Williams. He has Lincoln Riley in this air raid offense, dialing things up. He has amazing protection. So Caleb Williams is the quarterback right now that is living pretty. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to see him perform under less like advantageous scenarios. I think we've seen he can like do these crazy video game like plays where he's throwing off his back foot, scrambling around 15 defenders, fading out of bounds and throwing across his body and completing a 50-yard pass. Amazing. You love to see it. Those plays that you just can't defend. But he has another year of eligibility, and so I want to see him make up for, lesser offensive talent and situations so that if he does go to a bad team, I'm not going to feel as bad about him not having great O-line or not having great weapons. He can still succeed. That's what I'm trying to say. But I love Caleb Williams and his potential. He's a 2024 quarterback, so we got some time with him, man. We got some time for him. Emergency streams, let's go. We love to see it. Juan Rosales says, I want Jalen Carter in the best middle linebacker in this class. We'd have a stud in every position group on defense. Jalen Carter's a beast, man. He's a beast. His potential is genuinely like, it might be the highest in the class. It might be the highest in the class. Because you talk about a defensive tackle doing what he can do, and you talk about who's the best defender in the game right now. It's Aaron Donald. All right? It's Aaron Donald. What's he play? Defensive tackle. I'm not saying Jalen Carter's Aaron Donald, but I'm saying with his athletic potential, he can have a similar type of impact from the inside of the defensive line as opposed to the edge of the defensive line. And I think we're seeing that those like elite talents are kind of harder to scheme out of a game than it is an edge talent. We saw this past week, Alabama versus Tennessee. Will Anderson kind of got schemed out the game. Didn't really make any impact plays. Alabama got hung basically 50 points on their damn head, right? So no matter how elite Will Anderson is, and don't get me wrong, he is elite. He is the most talented player in this class as of right now. But I feel like edges can get schemed out of a game a little bit easier than defensive tackles. So there's your case for Jalen Carter. There's your case for Jalen Carter. All right. Thank you, Jay. Where was this a few weeks ago? Where was this a few months ago, man? Come on. Browns lost again. You love to see it. You love to see it. Best thing to do is to draft edge and wide receiver, and then next year draft, use the capital we get so we can get Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams might be the truth, man. Caleb Williams might be the truth. I feel like when I brought him up, I didn't do him justice. Like some of the plays he makes are just plays that like Patrick Mahomes, you're like, am I supposed to do there? We defended that perfectly. We got pressure by 3 guys. We locked up your first 3 reads, and he's still going to run circles around us like a chicken with his head damn cut off and make a play. How do you defend that? He has that game-breaking like ability, and it's rare to find that in quarterbacks. And when you have that in a quarterback, you feel like you can compete with the elite quarterbacks in the league. You feel like you can compete with Mahomes, with Josh Allen, with Justin Herbert, with Aaron Rodgers, with Tom Brady. Right? And so that's what excites me so much about Caleb Williams. I can see that eventual ceiling with him. I can see that. Hendon Hooker, I think Hendon Hooker would be a really good option if like Primetime Bari says, we go edge and wide receiver early. We build the house around the quarterback, and then you spend like a mid-round pick on Hendon Hooker. Maybe it's a late second, early third type pick. If he keeps playing like he's doing, it's going to have to be our second-round pick. But Hendon Hooker, you liked what he has put on film. He's improved every single year. But he's going to be either 24 or 25 years old as a rookie. Someone will help me out in the chat on that exact number. And so when I just talked about the ceiling being so high for Caleb Williams, because he's a younger guy performing at a younger age, dominating competition at a younger age, then you see a guy like Hendon Hooker who it's taken him a little bit to get to the point where he is now dominating. And so you think that how much more can he improve? If he's already improved this much, how much more is there to go? So that's kind of the one question mark with Hendon Hooker. Other than that, I mean, the dude's accurate. The dude's mobile. He can make all the throws. He's he shows good anticipation at times, and especially in that game versus Tennessee, man, or not Tennessee, versus Alabama. Whoo, he was on fire. You got to give him his flowers for sure. Yeah, Hendon Hooker would be an interesting option, man. This is one of the worst rosters Bama has fielded, and Bryce is still at a Heisman left. Thank you. This might be the worst Bama team in damn near a decade. Damn near a decade. From a talent perspective and from a discipline perspective. Y'all see how many penalties they get? Not only every game, every damn drive, y'all. Every damn drive. Where'd you get the shirt? Someone hit me up on Twitter and was selling it. And honestly, it was like years ago, so I do not know. But I'm sure if you search Fire Easterby, it'll pop up somewhere. It'll pop up somewhere. Hey, my boy Ruben's in the chat. Shout out to Ruben. Go follow his YouTube. Go hit subscribe at 713 Houston Sports. You guys want some fire. You guys want some energy. You guys want some hype as this Houston Texans turns around their fan base. It's not their fan base. Their team, their organization. Go hit up my boy Ruben. He's got you, man. He's got you. 25-year-old rookie. Thank you, DeFons. Thank you. Yo, what's good, Matt? What's good? Hallelujah, Roderick. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. It's a blessed day in Houston as St. Easterby is promoted to customer. Praise to the Most High. To customer Easterby, man. Pounding on that ball name out our city. Oh, what a great day. What a great day. I honestly did not think it would happen. I had given up on the dream. I ain't gonna lie. We had put the joke Easterby movement into fruition. Let me find. Sorry, I want to show you all these things on Twitter because it was very interesting what John McClain was tweeting today. John McClain was letting it rip, letting it fire. He was like, I ain't employed for the Chronicle no more. I'm gonna let it go. Oh, I didn't even see this Jack Easterby tweet. Family and I are thankful for our time in Houston. We appreciate the opportunities of making our families proud of us and wish the organization long for some PR ass tweet. All right. Oh yes, this was the Andre Johnson thing I was talking about earlier, where someone posted John McClain's tweet, tagged Andre, and he said, "Fire emojis." Boom. All right, so let's go back to John McClain's Twitter this morning. Man, this dude tweets out a lot. This dude be constantly tweeting. We got to start from the beginning. Is this too far? Yeah, it's maybe too far. Maybe it wasn't too far. 9 hours. How much is 9 hours? 6. What time is it? Oh, that's not far enough at all. All right. No, we're still not there. Damn, John McClain be living on Twitter. What you doing, man? All right, you know what? This is a fine enough spot to start. If you aren't caught up on the Easterby stuff, McClain did a good little synopsis of some of the stuff he's done behind the scenes. Easterby stuck his nose in other department heads' businesses, tried to tell everyone what to do and dictate policy where he had no business. This is a guy that has really no football personnel experience. And not only that is the issue with his position, but also when you're hired to do a job, you don't go running around to every department and telling people how to do their jobs. Not even if you're the owner, stay in your lane, do what you were brought here to do, and don't piss other people off. Because no one likes an over manager and someone who just tries to take over other people's responsibilities. And that's kind of what he was doing, weaseling into other people's jobs. Easterby also spent too much time leaking Texans stories to his favorites in the media, which earned him a lot of enemies. And he denied leaking stories to the McNair family. Ooh, so he lied to the McNairs. Maybe that was one of the final straws, and Cal caught him capping. Firing Easterby is one of the best decisions in the history of Houston sports. If the McNair family wants to make another, am I sharing my screen? I am. Okay. Can you make a video of this, please? Cool kid, what you think I'm doing right now? Firing blah, 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 with 100% approval. They should bring Andre Johnson back in the organization. Absolutely, I agree. What else? There were other things. Yeah, Easterby's firing has nothing to do with the job status of Caserio and Smith. They ain't going anywhere. Caserio has the Texans on the right track. Some people thought that, because Easterby was technically Caserio's superior, if Cal hires someone to take over that role, aka Caserio's new boss, Caserio might be gone. It's the whole hire a new GM. The GM wants to get rid of the old head coach, that sort of thing. That sort of power dynamic. But doesn't look like it. It looks like this is Caserio's team. He ain't going nowhere. Same with Lovey. Lovey's definitely got at least he's not going to get fired this season. I don't think he'll get fired next season unless they're not winning, unless they are 0-8 by halfway through the season. But yeah, I think he's got another good 2 years here. Easterby had his footballs cut off after last season. He was forced into the background this season. No more power or influence. I thought he was gone after the season, but the Meniere's took out their scissors and snips. Dude, McLean was on something today. McLean was on something today, dude. He was on something. I thought this was interesting. Former Texans wide receiver Jalen Strong on the firing of Jack Easterby. Watch how quickly things turn around in Houston. This guy was the start of the Texans' downfall. Made OB believe he could be a great GM. It was crazy the amount of former players that were voicing out today. I know I retweeted Gary on Conley. Also said something. Yeah, about time they got rid of Buddy at the Texans, a.k.a. Jack Easterby, a.k.a. Joke. And I know Johnny Dixon, was it? Some other player responded to Gary on and was basically like, fuck that dude. I can't find it now. Go figure. All right, never mind. But yeah, man. This was also crazy. I found this tweet when I searched back in my tweets. I searched for Joke Easterby. Remember when Texans Twitter came together, y'all, and got Fire Easterby trending? It was crazy. The amount of y'all went crazy on this. I remember scrolling on Twitter and everything I saw was just a million Fire Easterbys. Literally, that was everything that filled my timeline. It was nothing I've ever seen before. It was so cool for us to do that and to band together and show that, we can all be on the same side of things. There's no reason for us to be divided. We're all on the same team. We're all rooting for the same team. At the end of the day, we can put our differences aside, whether we like Davis Mills, whether we don't like Davis Mills, whether we like Pep Hamilton, whether we don't like Pep Hamilton, whether we like Lovie Smith, whether we don't. And we can go make this shit trend. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. I thought this was a live stream. I mean, live stream video. I don't have the time to do a video right now. You're right, cool kid. You're right. This is a live stream. It's not a video. But it's basically the same thing. Those rare McLean dubs. If we can get Eric Bieniemy, we saw on that Eric Bieniemy train, huh? I don't even know, man. At this point, I don't even know. You know who I wish we had? I understand. Now yeah. You know who I wish we had? Brian damn Daboll. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's Daboll. It's kind of like table. That's what I was told. Brian damn Daboll, man, been turning around them New York Giants. Been turning around. 5-1. With Daniel Jones back there? You can do that with Daniel Jones. What the hell do you think he can do with Davis Mills? Come on, Brian Daboll. You want Sean Payton or D'Amico? Oof. I think Sean Payton is a hell of a coach. And I think he would instantly raise the floor of this team. But I kind of like the upside and potential that comes with D'Amico Ryans, being a young gun, being an up-and-comer, being someone that's very attuned to the modern NFL. He's going to get your defense right. Defense wins championships. So I'm kind of on the D'Amico train, man. Bring him back home. Bring him back home. Could you imagine? Has it ever been done before? It probably has. I'm just not very good with NFL history. But has there ever been a former player like be the head coach for their team? I don't know, man. I don't know. Money Matt. How dare you be late? How dare you? Sure, Torin. Yeah, I'll check that. I haven't been on LinkedIn in a hot minute. Since the Omenahu breakdown. Damn, that was one of my first videos. That's crazy, Torin. I appreciate the support, man. I will definitely hit you up on LinkedIn. For show. Money Matt. Someone beat you in the donos. Someone dropped $2,000. You got to top him. David with Bryce Young, bro. He sued the Texans. He did, but it was like, I forget what the exact specifics are. Patrick Storm told me because he knows these things. So I forget the exact specifics, but it's basically water on the bridge is what I was told. Hey, cook it up. ZZ says, first of all, thank you for the $7.99. I appreciate it. Appreciate your support and donation, my guy. Means lots. Ryan Burns for the Browns pick. Thoughts on Grenard and most surprising player and thoughts on Owens. Well, cook it up. See, usually I won't answer 4 questions, but for $8, $2 a question? Come on. All right, Brian Burns for the Browns pick. I don't know, man. Brian Burns is a good player. Don't get me wrong, but the Browns are bad. The Browns are a bad football team right now. They are a bad football team. They're a bottom 5 football team, man. Jacoby Brissett is not him. Nick Chubb can't carry the team. The defense is horrible. They really only got Myles Garrett out there. So even if when Deshaun Watson comes back, this man hasn't played football in 2 years. It's not just going to click for him like that. It's not. We saw him in preseason. It looked ugly. And it's not like this is firing in all cylinders right now. It's not like Jacoby Brissett is lighting the world on fire and like they just need Deshaun Watson to be 50% of what he was in his last year with the Texans. It's not like that. They need him to be 110% Deshaun Watson to turn this ship around. So I think this Browns pick is still going to end up in the top 10 is what my eventual point is. Maybe not top 5, but I can see it being top 10. Let's take a look at the Cleveland Browns schedule, actually. Let's take a look at that. As I just searched Cleveland Browns. What is wrong with me? Cleveland Browns schedule. And I can't even spell schedule right. I'll put it up on the screen for y'all in a second once I get to it. Okay, here we go. And we'll get to the rest of your question. Cook it up, don't you worry. But y'all know me. I love to rant. I love to go on and on and on. All right, this is the Browns schedule. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3? That's not right. These are preseason games. 1 and 2, 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Baltimore. That should be an L because the Ravens just lost to the Giants, so they should be a little bit like, let's wake up here, guys. Let's get shit together and destroy the Browns. So I think that's an L versus Baltimore. Cincy. Oh, by the way, why is this in Pacific time? My computer is still in Vancouver time. Okay, anyways. Cincy on Monday Night Football. Cincy's a weird team, man. It's hard to predict, but don't bet against Joe Burrow. That's all I'm going to say. So I think that's 2 straight L's. Then they have the week to prepare for Miami. So if Tua will be fine by then. Tua will be back by then. So I think Miami takes that as well. Buffalo's going to take that. Tampa Bay, they've been playing bad, but you'd think after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, after 5 more weeks, I think Tom Brady and them can figure it out and beat the Browns. So that's another L. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight L's. Houston, who knows, man? Who knows? Anything can happen with that game. With that game, when Deshaun is back, anything can happen. I know we're not a great team this year, but the NFL is the NFL. Any team can win on any given Sunday. The emotions will be high. This will be like literally the most unpredictable game maybe of Houston Texans history. Anything can happen. So 50-50 win-loss there. Let's say they tied. No, I'm kidding. Okay, Cincy, we said that they took that one, or they lost that one. So let's say they win this one. Let's say they split it. So that's like, let's say one. Fuck it, y'all. I'm saying we're beating them. I'm saying we're beating their asses. One win. Baltimore again. I don't think they're beating Baltimore late in the season. They maybe will beat the Saints. Maybe now Watson is starting to kind of like get into form. They should beat Washington and Pittsburgh. I don't know. Let's toss them, man. These division games. Basically, I see like 1, 2, like 3, maybe 4 more wins the rest of the way. So that's top 10 pick territory, man. They get 4 more wins. They're sitting at 6 wins. It's looking good for us. It's looking good for us. Schedule's getting harder. Okay, let me pick up where you guys were at with the chats. And then let me get back to Cook It Up's question. The hype, the Browns defense was really bad in preseason. I hear you. People was really crazy saying Jacoby was going to keep the Browns upright. No, schedule's getting harder. Absolutely. Browns next 5 games are tough. Yes, sir. Imagine being a top 5. I would lose my shit too, dude. I would lose my shit too, Fawns. Jay says Dan Campbell coached the Lions as a former player for them that coaches them now. Oh, wow. Good look, Jay. Good look. Jay with the research. They lost all the games they should have won. Honestly, man. They lost to the Jets. They lost to the Falcons. And then the Chargers in New England. But, like, yeah, they should have beat the Jets. They should have beat the Falcons, definitely. They've only beaten really bad teams. They've beaten Carolina, which is the worst team in football right now. And they beat Pittsburgh, which was like, that was that weird game, I think, where Trubisky got benched, I want to say. I don't know. That was week 3. Y'all know better than me. We'll be back week 7. Yeah, I think the Dolphins got him. Chubb is going to get hurt with all that play and abuse this season. Hate to say it, but it is what it is. Running back bring that pain. Yeah, man. Especially when they have no balance on offense right now, where the passing game really ain't it. Browns it's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad. Bring on D'Amico, baby. Bring on D'Amico. Okay, let me get back to Cook It Up. So no, I would not trade for Brian Burns for the Browns pick, not only because of how valuable I think that Browns pick will be, but also because Brian Burns, you're going to have to pay a lot. And I kind of don't think he's actually that good. I don't think he's actually that good. I don't think he's a top 10 defensive end in the NFL. And I think that's what you would have to trade for like a top 10 pick. All right, so thoughts on Grenard. Y'all know me. I've loved JG for a hot minute, since before he was even drafted by us. He's my guy. He's one of my guys. I'm not closing the door on him, but I will say, I will keep it real. He's been underwhelming this season. He has. After a season where he led the team in sacks and was very efficient, getting 8.5 sacks in 12 games. He's not really brought it this year. He has 1.5 sacks in 4 games. Just 9 tackles. He does have 5 tackles for a loss. He's been a pretty decent run defender. Pretty solid run defender, I'll say. But he's been quiet, man. He's been quiet. And I know he can do better than that. But it's starting to get that time where, it's his 3rd year now? It's his 3rd year now. Every year he's dealt with kind of these minor injuries where he hasn't been able to play a full season. And I don't know. I'm definitely not passing on Will Anderson, Miles Murphy, because we got Jonathan Grenard. That's for sure. So I just want to see more from him, man. I'll keep it real. And most surprising player. Who's the player who's come out of nowhere and shocked the world? It was Jerry Hughes. I wasn't even surprised at Jerry Hughes because he's been good for a minute. Steven Nelson. Steven Nelson has surprised me. Honestly, I did not have the highest of hopes for Steven Nelson, but he's been a really damn good cornerback too. The pass defense has been really, really good. We've had guys in hell. We've had quarterbacks in hell for most of this damn season. So I'll give it to Steven Nelson, man. And thoughts on Owens. Owens was the other guy I was thinking about giving it to, because I think he's been solid for, what we've been asking out of him. We have not been giving up a lot of big plays over the top, and that's his job as a safety, as our free safety. He's been good in run support with tackling, so I like that as well. He's had some opportunistic pass breakups, most notably in the red zone. So I think for a young player who really is starting to come into his own, has not had a lot of experience, was a very lowly recruited and acclaimed player, I will take it, man. I will take it. I think ideally he's your third safety and a really, really good backup, and maybe not your starter, but I think he's doing good for us, man. I think he's doing good for us. I have good reason to explain it to you in this credit. It better be good, Matt. It better be good. Do you have any potential head coaches you have your eye on? Honestly, it's way too early for that, DeFons. I'm just starting to get into draft stuff now. I'm behind, honestly. So for me, I don't. I do like what the Bills OC Ken Dorsey has been doing, as he's been replacing Brian Daboll. So he's a name to look out for. I would look at that Eagles coaching staff, man. I don't know if Jonathan Gannon want to have round 2 with us or not, but that would be interesting because that defense is playing really, really good. Whoever's on their offensive staff, here's a name I'll throw out here. I think it might be a little bit too early this year for him for a head coach because he's just a quarterback coach right now. But the Eagles quarterback coach, Brian Johnson, look him up. He's been an OC before, and I believe he's been a head coach before, but I might be wrong on that. But he's been instrumental to Jalen Hurts' development and Jalen Hurts taking that next step. He's known Jalen Hurts all his life. Not all his life, but since Jalen Hurts was young. And he's a really well-respected name around the leagues. He doesn't get a lot of national media attention per se, but Brian Johnson, quarterback coach, Eagles, might be your sleeper. Other than that, it's really D'Amico that has the head start on everyone else, man. All right, I got a lot of comments to pick up on. What's up, Balin? Maybe. I kind of don't think that they will. I don't know if they'll hire someone, because I don't think Easterby was instrumental whatsoever. I don't think we're missing out on anything, man. 3 first rounders will be lit. I mean, that's basically what we have this year, because the Bucks, is it the Bucks or is it the Dolphins that forfeited their first round pick? One of the teams this year, they forfeited their first round pick. I think it's the Dolphins, right? Because they got caught doing some shady shit. So there's only 31 teams drafting in the first round. And guess what? If we have that first overall pick, that means we're drafting 32nd overall. That means that's basically 3 first round picks, baby. But I don't know, man. Carolina's hot trash. So they might hold that number 1 pick. They might. What's up, Emirates? What's good? Just are sneaky good, man. Robert Saleh doing good things. Joe Douglas drafted him well. Owens is solid, but I think we can get better with time. He can get better with time and better defensive players around. I think so too. I'm just not sure he's a big time difference maker as a free safety. When you think about your free safeties, you think about your Earl Thomases, your Justin Simmonses, your Jesse Bateses. You want guys who can get their hands on the ball and create turnovers. And Jonathan Owens, for as kind of well-rounded as he is, and he's he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, he doesn't make a lot of plays either. And on my free safety, I want turnovers. That's what separates the solid free safeties from the great free safeties from the elite free safeties. Thoughts on the wide receiver group? We might have to start having a conversation who the best wide receiver in Houston is, man. I'm not so sure it's Brandon Cooks no more. Brandon Cooks has declined big time this season. He's not making catches that he's usually making. He's not getting as open as he usually is. He might need to move into the slot. He doesn't have his deep speed as much as he did before. And Nico Collins, man, when I turned on the film of the Texans versus the Chargers, Nico Collins versus JC Mother Jackson, he had JC Jackson in hell. You can't see it from the broadcast view when you're watching games live all the time because wide receivers go off the screen. You turn on all 22, you watch the film, that man was open damn near every play. And I mean like wide open. It was insane. So for him to do that, against a top 5, I would want to say, cornerback in the league, and JC Jackson, man, it said a lot for me about Nico Collins, man. It said a lot. So I'm very high on Nico Collins. I'm continuing to be so. And I like John Mechie out of college, man. I liked him a lot. I'm curious to see what he can bring to the field and how he, like, theoretically he should be healthy. Like, it's not like he tore his Achilles or something or his ACL, like recently. At least he did kind of tear his ACL. But with his battle with cancer, it's just kind of a big question mark. You just never know, right? So going into the draft, going into the offseason, I definitely think they should address the wide receiver position, especially because Brandon Cook's contract is going to be up soon. If not the end of next season, I believe. No, didn't he sign an extension, actually? He's on an extension, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, he's on the decline. And so I think he might have to start being a trade piece, potentially. You never want to sell low, but to get something out of him before he just kind of goes, maybe. But yeah, I want a wide receiver. If we're talking about the wide receiver group and potential additions, like what type of wide receiver do I want? I want a guy who can get yak. You watch the games, man. Like, who's getting yak on this team? No one. And so it's always up to, it's like, it's not sustainable offense if you're not gaining yak, if the yak is not part of your ability to gain explosive plays, right? Because you can't just really like nickel and dime your way down the field all the time and just get tackled right off on the catch point. You need to break some big plays off yak, and we never have that. So I want a yak guy. And ideally, that guy can also separate versus man coverage really well and just get open with ease. Who are the best wide receivers in this upcoming draft class for that? Jordan Addison, insane. I love his talent out of USC. He did great things at Pittsburgh, won the Biletnikoff Award for the best wide receiver in the NFL, not in the NFL, in college football. He did that last year. Then he transferred, whole new system, whole new quarterback, whole new team, and he picked up right where he left off. And I think he's been the best wide receiver in college football this year as well. After that, I really like Quentin Johnston out of TCU, 6'4", 215. But the guy moves like he's 6 foot, like 195 in a good way. Like, that dude's yak is insane. Watch him play. You'll see him run these like curl routes or these comeback routes and basically turn his head back to the ball. He'll catch it and he'll spin one way and the defender will go flying the other way and he'll spin off of him. And he's just always juking guys and creating more yards after the catch. For a guy who's 6'4", 215, to get the yak that he does, like, there's not really a player that he reminds me of because he's so unique. He's long, he's lanky, he's tall, he's fast. He's not an amazing route runner, but he's got strong hands, he's got good speed, and he's got amazing yak ability. So I like those two guys a lot. Ooh, Nico Hype. Yes, sir. Man, I thought it was Invincible got fired. Thank you, Jesus. Absolutely. I think it was a 3-year extension. There you go. Someone got me. Tyler Johnson looks like he can start the process of taking over Chris Moore. I forgot about Tyler Johnson, honestly. We saw last game he was open for a what would have been a touchdown on a post route. And I think it's really hard to evaluate him right now with how this offense is and how Davis Mills is playing right now. So I would like to see him get more chances. I believe he's still under contract for next year. someone can help me out on that. But I think he's a guy that whatever he gives you is icing on top. And he's not really someone that you factor into the equation right now because he hasn't proven himself right now with the Houston Texans at all. So that's how I'm looking at Tyler Johnson. Like the potential, but that's what it is right now. It's potential. We need an overpowered wolf bully. Absolutely. Mechie is great at getting yak. He is, man. I hope that dude is able to play a long time in this league because he's talented, man. Jalen Hyatt is turning some legit speed. He is insane, dude. What was it? 5 touchdowns on 6 catches versus Bama. Like, he torched that defense. He's one of the fastest guys in college football. Great slot wide receiver. He can take the top off. Definitely would be interesting. Let's start the Darnell Washington hype right now, Money Matt. Let's start it. I think from the players that I have watched in who are talked about going in the first round, Darnell Washington is one of the 10 best players that I have watched. To be fair, I've only watched 20 players, but that dude is insane. At 6'7", 250, 260. I think he's 260. For a guy his size, he should not move like he does. He moves like Darren Waller, but he has the size of Darren Fells, right? It just don't make sense. He's an amazing blocker. He can do it in line versus defensive ends and linebackers. He can do it in the slot. He can get out in space on screens and block DBs down the field. He does it all as a blocker. Really powerful, really nasty. He wants to pancake you. He's a talent, man. And you talk about his size, his frame, his catch radius, his hands. He makes spectacular catches outside of his frame with one hand. I really want a tight end for this offense, man. I think Pep Hamilton's offense revolves around tight ends, and we haven't given him that so far. Pharaoh Brown got cut in the middle of the season. That's how bad our tight end situation is. Brevin Jordan hasn't been able to stay healthy, and when he was healthy, he wasn't showing anything in the beginning of the season. So to me, the tight end position is honestly a very underrated need for the Texans because not only will they help out the passing game tremendously, but if you get a guy that can do the passing game duties and the run game duties, like Darnell Washington, it helps both phases of the game, both phases of the offense. So if you're telling me that I can add a player that is going to help Damian Pierce, is going to help whoever's at quarterback as well, give it to me, man. Give it to me. Give it to me. I love Darnell Washington, tight end out of Georgia. Quentin Johnson reminds me a bit of Nuke. A little bit. Nuke was never really yak guy, but I kind of see the dreads, the hands, the contested catch ability. I kind of see it. Yo, what's up, Jerry? It's all good, man. Celebrating this week's victory. Let's go. Let's go. See, man, this is what we can't get into with scouting is you gotta scout the player, not the helmet. You can't let other players' history, mess with your current evaluation of a current player. I totally get it with Jalen Reagor, and I fell to the Jalen Reagor hype as well. I thought he was going to be really good coming out. But every player is different. Every player is different, and so we can't do that. Just like how we can't hold Ohio State quarterback history against them with CJ Stroud, with Justin Fields and whatnot. Same thing, man. That's my philosophy. You don't gotta follow me, but that's my 2 cents. You don't gotta, 269, man, 270. I even undershot it. Darnell Washington is 6'7", 270. God damn. Jose asked a good question. Who can we get to compliment Pierce this year or next? All right, well, if we're talking draft, get out your notepads, man. Get out your notepads because I've been doing my running back homework. I've been doing it. All right, everyone knows Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs are the top 2 dogs. Those are first-round talents, in my opinion. We're not going to be drafting them running back first round. I don't think we should be drafting that running back second round. Third round, I start to think about it, but you think about it, we got Damian Pierce in the 4th round, man. Let's go do that again. Let's go do that again. especially the fact that we got a starter in the 4th round. All we would need right now is a backup. So that should be attainable in the 4th round. So guys that are going to be around those mid-round picks, maybe it's someone like Blake Corum out of Michigan. Now, he's been rising up draft boards, but with his size and being a smaller back, I don't think teams are going to take him too early because they know he'll never be a workhorse. They know he'll never be the guy, and he'll always be more of a complimentary committee back. But damn, is he not insanely talented, dude. God damn. I love Blake Corum out of Michigan. I like Kenny McIntosh out of Georgia. Who else? Oh, Rashawn Johnson. That's who I really wanted to bring up. Out of Texas. Bijan's backup, Rashawn Johnson. If you're a UT fan, you know him. You know how good Rashawn is. Sometimes he'd be out there looking like Bijan with how good he is. I think he's perfect for this team because he gives you a little bit of Pierce with some tackle breaking, with some tackle evading. Like, he's so good at making the first guy miss, but then he's also going to be a guy that can kind of get busy with the ball in space on screens as a receiver. So I like Rashawn Johnson as well. There's 3 guys for you, boys. Washington this year, Brock Bowers next year. Brock Bowers, like, next year's class is actually insane. Between Brock Bowers, Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers, like, crazy, man. Missing y'all too, man. Missing y'all too. It's been a minute. I'm sorry for going MIA. I want to be able to do streams with y'all every week. Maybe it'll start being like, I don't know when I can do it, man. Because I have to work 40 hours Monday to Friday, and then it's Monday nights for the game. I should be working right now, really, but Joke used to be taking more priority, and I'll work after the stream. Thursday nights as well for the game, and then basically all of Sunday. So it's just been busy, and it's been hard. So I'll try and figure it out for y'all. But I really appreciate it. Every time I do just randomly come back, y'all are here for me. I appreciate it, man. All right. A-Chain, that is one of the guys that I really wanted. I don't know why my mind went blank when I started listing off these running backs. I had so many more for y'all, A-Chain included. A-Chain out of A&M, man. That dude is a track star. That dude's speed is actually like it's Bijan level of speed, in my opinion. He can hit the burners and go. And so I think getting a back like him to really change the pace, because like Pierce is your bruiser. Pierce is you ain't going to tackle me even if you try. And he's got good speed, don't get me wrong. But he is not a burner like Devon A-Chain is. And so I think getting 2 guys with differing level of speeds is really going to mess with defenses because we pound them with Pierce and they kind of get used to Pierce and his speed and the angles you have to take to stop him. Then you throw an A-Chain and it's a change of pace and the linebackers, like, they're mind boggled. You know, they can't keep up with it because it's a different speed that they have to play at now. It's different angles they have to take. And so I like that idea. And I think he's also a very solid receiving back with good hands. You got to get better at route running, but the potential is there, man. He's just an athlete. I feel like come to love Joey Porter Jr. when you watch the tape. I need to get into the corners, man. The only corner I've seen is Keely Ringo. Actually, no, I've seen Keely Ringo and I've seen Clark Phillips now. Keely Ringo would honestly be a really good compliment to Derek Stingley. Keely Ringo out of Georgia, 6'2". He's your physical press corner that does well against like the bigger wide receivers, the Cortland Suttons of the world, for example. And we know Derek Stingley is really, really good right now. If there's one flaw he has is it's bigger wide receivers because he's not like the biggest cornerback. He's not a small cornerback either. He's like 6 foot with like 30-inch arms, which like nowadays like is on the smaller side. So if we were to get a guy like Keely Ringo out of Georgia, you put Stingley on the more shifty, speedy guy. You put Keely on the bigger, more physical guy. Then you got 2 corners that no matter what wide receivers the other team has, you got an answer for it. Maybe that's how you want to build your defense with 2 elite corners. It can be done. I don't know. I don't think there's just one way to build a team, man. So it can be done. See, this is what I was saying on Twitter the other day, Jay. Tony Pollard is a free agent. I don't know if the Cowboys are going to be able to afford him and Zeke. I don't think we need to be giving Tony Pollard big money or nothing, because you don't pay running backs, and you definitely don't pay backup running backs big money. But if there's a world where he wants to come to Houston, don't want to pay no state tax, wants to stay in Texas, go get that boy. Because everything I just said about having a change of pace back, having a good receiving back, Tony Pollard is that and some. And some. Then you go line him up out wide in the slot wide receiver position too. You can go run him on jet sweeps. You can do a lot with Tony Pollard, man. What a beautiful day it was, Travis. Absolutely. And with that, we're coming full circle. Fire Easterby. The movement has been completed, y'all. Joke is gone. What a day. I'm really speechless because this is something that I never thought would happen. And he's put us through hell. The amount of things that he's done, like, there's really no point in reliving it and rehashing old wounds. But good riddance. Good riddance. And with that, y'all, I'm going to peace out. I'm going to get back to work, watch the rest of this Monday Night Football game. Hope y'all have a blessed week. Made it through Monday, worst day of the week. You can make it through the rest of the week, man. Y'all be easy. Go Texans. We're going to beat some Raider ass this weekend. And let's do it. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Take care. Come back for more. And remember, the film don't lie.